All right, what's up, y'all? Today we're going to talk about who, if anyone, um, either gender, is at fault for the our social woes about around relationships and dating currently. There's a lot of gender war stuff going on. I had a really good conversation with some ladies last night about the difficulty of finding a good man and to like be able to date. Um, all of us were either single or dating women. um, but that's a separate. Not because the men are terrible, because we love women, but yeah. So I could also identify with the straight women because I do date men as well. So I feel like we get a lot of like, oh, it's women's fault. The women are being too picky. They only want the 1%. They're delusional. And then on the other hand, we have, oh, it's all the men's fault. The men only want like these models. They want these like BBLs and all these other things. They're like their expectations are unrealistic and they don't put in any effort. So we've got a lot of like gender based arguments going around. So this is actually another great one that I would love to get a straight man to discuss this with for an episode, but we'll just go ahead and do an episode with me addressing it to the best of my ability for now until I find an intelligent straight male guest to come on and debate the topic on if either gender is at fault. So to answer the question myself, I'm going to try to answer from a woman's perspective and a man's perspective as best as I can. Obviously, I'm a woman, so my perspective on women is going to be a little bit more accurate. I can just kind of like say what I would like to see for men, but I feel like both genders have our own things to contribute to the issue of like why dating is difficult or can be difficult. And everyone is not struggling with dating, so there's people I'm like talk to the people that are doing well, and usually you'll find a combination of things of people that are dating that are happily dating. um, Either they kept their standards high and they rose to that standard as well, so they attracted a partner on the same status as them. Or B, they settled and they're dating down. They're just dating whoever they could find. So, and of course, there could be like a range of things in between those two kind of, I won't even say they're extremes, but there could be a lot of reasons why people, like some people just need to be with someone and so they don't necessarily have a great relationship. They are just in a relationship because it's a status thing. So, as far as women are concerned, what can women do differently to have better relationships? I believe with women, honestly, the issue is having too low standards. I think from my experience with both women and men, I see the most common thing that saddens me, quite honestly, is women settling for men that don't treat them as well as they should, that treat them kind of more like objects or like very low effort, don't put in that much effort into the relationship. Um, the standard for a man to be a good man is to just basically have a job and give her enough attention. Not even enough attention, just give her some attention, really, I would say. And that's kind of a lot of women that I know that are not really dating men right now or taking their time and stepping back. It's because they recognize their worth. And the men that they had dated, they were putting up with a lot of BS. They were putting up with like not the ideal situation because they hadn't recognized their worth yet. So the single women, and they're like beautiful, like got great things going for them. They seem to have good heads on their shoulders, intentionally choosing to stay single because they realize it's not worth compromising their own value just to be in a relationship, which is like a sad state for us to be in. But on the men's end of things, I see a lot of men complaining that the women don't want them, and so I can't come obviously exactly from a man's perspective, but I will say if I was a man, I would definitely be reflecting on, okay, what is it that I'm doing that is pushing women away from me? Or what is it that I could do to attract what it is that I want, attract women towards me? So bettering yourself, working on yourself, self-improvement, and like just introspecting and not being selfish. Like what is like knowing what it is that women want and women need. Like, do you make women feel safe, or do you make women feel like you're a creep? Do you come across as being educated? Can you read the room? Are you emotionally intelligent? Are you in touch with your emotions? Can you talk to her about things and care for her as a human being, as a full human being outside of her body and what she can give you physically? That's the, I will say, as a woman who um, has interest in men. The reason that I don't date them is usually because I feel like it's hard for them to see me as a person outside of me having a vagina, basically. Like, see me as, we can be friends, and they genuinely enjoy my company, whether we're dating or being intimate or not. And the reason why it's often so much easier for me to connect with women is because there is no such expectation generally with women. Like, we can actually enjoy each other as whole human beings, like in addition to our bodies, but we like enjoy each other mentally as well as physically. And with men, it's a little bit harder. I will say it's a little bit harder to find that. Um, like, guys will be really cool to talk to, and I give them all the benefit of the doubt. But usually, as soon as they realize, I will say this has been common across the board and across the years. As soon as they realize I'm not having sex with them, they lose all interest. Lose all the interest, just like, um, to the point that I've actually liked a man, or occasionally I've liked men or become attracted to men just because they actually could be my friend and not fully lose interest in me as a person, as a whole individual, based on if I was willing to have sex with them or not. So, and that bar, I'm like, that bar is actually hella low too. When I look back at it, I'm like, it's kind of sad. That's like all I need is for this guy to like be willing to be my friend, and then I liked him. I was like, I still, you still, there's still more levels than just like, oh, he sees you as a whole person. I'm like, that should still be level number one. Level number one is you are a whole person, and you see women as whole people, not just their bodies. So that would be the thing I would urge men to work on. Like, women, work on your self esteem. Women, work on your standards. Women, work on empowering yourselves. Men, work on your self awareness. Men, also work on your self esteem, so that like you can also build confidence that comes from a healthy place and not from a place of ego, where your confidence is based on how many women you can get, for example. So don't build your confidence based on how many women you can get or what you can do externally. Men, I would say, please try to build your confidence internally, and know your worth as well, intrinsically, based on like, gosh, there's so many things that you can build confidence off of. But I would say, like, I don't know, whether it's like you take care of yourself physically and mentally, like you're intelligent, you're well-rounded, you're cultured, you read, like there's so many things you can do to feel good about yourself as a man besides having sex. Like, have like, yes, if you're good at it, sure, you can feel proud of that, but that's like one small aspect out of like a whole well-rounded individual. So, men, please just think about, instead of trying to blame the other gender, I'm like, the first thing you can do is look at yourself first. Talk to your fellow guys. Women, talk to your fellow women, and keep it real. Like, the I feel like the key to this issue in dating is accountability and just genuine self-reflection. And to be honest, I can't even, I don't think I can even say anything after that. If we were all accountable for our actions, and obviously you can't, like, each gender is not a monolith to begin with. So you can't even truly fully extrapolate. Obviously, there's going to be men that are emotionally intelligent, which is why I still have hope for men, because I know there's always going to be men that are like outside the norm, the normal box, that are emotionally intelligent as well as intellectually intelligent, and see women as whole people. And there are going to be women that are self-aware and know their worth and know what they deserve. So look at what you can do if you're fitting those things or not, and surround yourself with those people, because we tend to multiply when we're in the company and presence of those that are similar. It's more seen that, okay, this is the norm, not the low standard, the low self-worth version. The It kind of like raises, the more you get like-minded people together, it sort of raises the frequency of the entire group, as long as it's in a, the baseline is like in a positive way. And so when you get a lot of complainers together and a lot of people that hate on the opposite gender together, you create echo chamber of that as well, and that lowers the vibration or the standard. So I would say watch who you're hanging out with, watch what you're putting into your own spirit, and go from there. And hopefully we can do a discussion version of this relatively soon. As soon as I find a reasonable straight man, I'll get him up here. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe. If you have anything to add it down below. Peace out.